Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Science. The Science Department at Selby College does pride itself, should I say, in a number of things, but particularly excellent facilities. And it is a pity you can't come around and have a look at them. They're very spacious, bright, well-lit and really well-equipped laboratories that we've got, and the students do enjoy working in them. We are quite a small department, which means that we can be very dedicated, friendly and approachable to the students, as well, of course, as requiring or wanting having a high expectation of student behaviour and of student achievement. It's these high expectations that lead on to better student achievement and ultimately to the outstanding outcomes for our learners. We also have a wide range of enrichment activities, and I think these are really quite important in science because it helps students to develop a broader understanding of the different career paths available in science, which they may not necessarily be aware of at this stage. Also, we have a good choice of courses to suit learners' needs, and we do run a vocational course, which I will mention briefly at the end of this talk, but there is a session that I'll be presenting tomorrow night as well. So, student achievements and destinations. The first point there, I think, speaks for itself. Also, I think what we're particularly proud of, point 2 there, is that there were no achievement gaps with our students, and that really illustrates the ability of staff to be able to support students well and to ensure that they all achieve their maximum potential. Particularly, there is no difference in achievement through gender, which is actually quite unusual in science. So I think that's quite an achievement. Many of our students, or nearly all of our students, get positive destinations. Many of those go on to higher education. We have a high percentage of students going on to higher education, and that's the same for the vocational course as well. And as you can see, a lot of them do also go to Russell Group universities, and that really illustrates our ability to encourage them to reach for higher targets and achieve well in science. Activities and enrichment. This basically is a list of some of the activities that we've done over the last 12 months prior to lockdown. Now, clearly some of these activities have been curtailed slightly, and so this is something that we will consider going forwards. You can see there that many of these activities are designed in order to broaden students' awareness of different courses and also different careers in science. Other things that we participate in are the FUSE project, which essentially is there to increase students' awareness of the different opportunities, particularly towards scientific research, which many students don't come into science with an intention of going into, but the majority of them do actually go into scientific research. Pathways to Medicine and Realising Opportunities are good programmes that encourage social mobility, which is obviously very important. Also, the Royal Society of Biology's Olympiad competition, that we did do that during lockdown because it is an online competition, and we actually found that all our biologists took part. It is a national competition. They pit their wits against other students across the entire country, and our students fared particularly well, and almost half of them came out with commendations, so we were quite pleased with that. Now on to the different subjects. I'll talk about A-level biology, and then I'll have a pause for questions before I move on to the others, just to give you an opportunity to ask things. The entry requirements for A-level biology, the standard A-level requirements, plus at least a grade 6 in biology GCSE, and also a grade 6 in maths GCSE. Or, of course, there's also, you could get a grade 6 in a combined double award science. So why would you study A-level biology? Well, many students have a passion for life sciences, which is obviously a good reason for studying it. But in addition to that, together with, in common or with all the other science subjects, is the ability to work well as a team, solve problems, develops numeracy and communication skills, as well as a lot of self-discipline. The numeracy skills there are a reason for also needing to study core maths if you aren't actually studying any A-level maths. James, who follows on from me, will tell you a little bit more about core maths later, but essentially it prepares students particularly well for the level 3 mathematical requirements that are an important aspect of the A-level sciences. In terms of what you study in A-level biology, essentially it is an extension of what you would have learned at GCSE. As I've mentioned, in addition to that, you will also study core maths. If you're not studying chemistry A-level, or if you're not studying physics A-level, or of course if you're not studying A-level maths. You're tested on a regular basis, so every time we get to the end of a particular topic area, and again this is common across the other sciences as well, then you will get a test on that topic. And we feel it's important that we get students to revise as they go along, but it also gives them a good measure of how well they're performing in science, and also it helps them to develop an understanding of the areas in which they could improve on, and of course it helps the tutors as well to give them some support in that. So it's largely down to that we feel we get good outcomes on the science A-level courses. As well as having regular tests, you also of course do homework on top of that, and of course you've got your 3 terminal exams at the end of the course. Potential careers in biology. This is one that nearly all of our students, when they choose to study biology, have the idea of health careers or health sciences and don't really understand the other wider aspects of science, which is something we're keen to explain to them. For example, environmental science is a really important aspect of biology. That of course is also important in chemistry as well. In addition to that, science research careers such as genetic engineering, stem cell research, sustainability of the human food chain, and all sorts of other interesting careers there. I think I'm going to pause here now and just see if there's any questions before I move on to the other sciences.
Hi Deb.
Hello.
Nothing specific about biology yet, but there are a couple of questions.
Okay.
So what's the difference between A-level science and vocational course? Is one more difficult than the other?
It's all about different skills, really. I mean, if you enjoy the more practical aspects of science over and above a lot of the theory, then it's quite possible that the vocational route is better for you. There is a slight difference in the entry requirements, in that you wouldn't need to have your grade 6 in, say, biology or chemistry or physics. GCSE. Also, you wouldn't need the grade 6 in the maths as well, and so it would be, you know, worth looking at that because of the difference in the requirements for A-levels compared to vocational. But we've had quite a few students who have actually switched from A-level, so even though they've actually met those requirements for A-level, have actually chosen to switch to the vocational route because they prefer that style of learning. There's fewer exams as well, so if students find exams particularly stressful, then it's possible that the vocational route would be better.
Okay, that's great, thank you. And then Tilly has just asked, is there any field work, for example, on the ecology unit?
Yeah, well, field work is something that is part of the A-level studies and is particularly important in the second year. So yes, there is. We do go out and we do sampling, which students have also become familiar with the GCSE content. And so, yes, there is. The difference there, I think, would be that with the field work, when you get the results, and that we do a lot of statistical analysis in biology with those results, hence the requirement for the grade 6 in maths, and also the need to be studying some form of maths if you're not doing another science.
Thank you. And then somebody's just asked, as a follow-on from the vocational question, would a vocational be viewed less when going into higher education?
We've had many students that have achieved high grades on the applied science course who will then have a desire to go to Russell Group universities. And we do have several students each year that do get onto Russell Group degree courses. There may be, obviously, with some of the more competitive, shall we say, careers, perhaps studying medicine and so on. I know that you would most probably need to study a foundation year before proceeding on to medicine. But then what we found with a lot of students is because they do progress better, they achieve higher grades on the BTEC science, that sometimes it actually facilitates a better route into university than if they'd gone along the A-level route where they would have got lower grades. So it's a balance really between the two. Okay, I think that's the most honest answer I can give really for that one.
Yeah, I think that's good. Thanks, Deb. That's it for sort of biology ones. I'll let you carry on.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so on to A-level chemistry now then. So the entry requirements for A-level chemistry mirror what I've described really for A-level biology. This time, of course, you need a grade 6 in the chemistry aspect of your GCSE, or again a 6 in the double award. The mathematical requirements for chemistry are more demanding than they are in biology, although they are quite difficult in biology as well. But they were not so much more demanding, but certainly comprise a greater percentage, should I say, of the actual assessment, the level of the quantity, the proportion of the assessment that you do at the end in your exams. So because of this, again, it's important that you are, if you're not studying biology or physics, then it's important that you are studying core maths or A-level maths. So why would you actually study A-level chemistry? Well, you would study it in order largely because chemistry is particularly, as I say, it's a bit more numerous than biology, but also you develop lots of practical skills there. It's particularly important in enabling students to develop particular mathematical solutions, for example, to problems, also to identify and explain key factors that influence specific phenomena or outcomes from experiments, for example. These skills are very much a part of all of science and also lead to an awful lot of different career paths, both within science and outside science as well. And that's also important when we look at physics too. Some of the potential careers there that you might then lead on to can be anything from, well, very varied, anything from an astronaut through to food science, environmental science, which I've already mentioned, as well as the more traditional routes for chemists such as chemical engineering. Also geology as well contains quite a bit of chemistry. So A-level chemistry is what we call a facilitating subject to a broad range of other degree courses. On the course you would, again, as mentioned in biology, you would expand your knowledge, build on the skills that you've developed at GCSE, which are obviously important in wanting to go on to study chemistry at a high level. Now on to physics, I think. So A-level physics here, the entry requirements here, again, mirror what we've already discussed. And again, at least a grade 6 in maths. In addition to that, we would expect you to be studying possibly core maths, but in all honesty, it's better if you study A-level maths. The reason for that is because without A-level maths, it can become restrictive when progressing on through to a degree course in physics. For example, nearly all the Russell Group universities insist on you having A-level maths to do a physics degree. So it does warrant serious consideration there. Also, because the proportion of A-level physics, 40% of the A-level physics exams are directly associated with assessment at level 3 mathematical levels. So again, because you're doing A-level maths, it enables you to develop those skills, and at the very least you would have to be studying core maths. So why would you study A-level physics? Well, as I've just stressed, it is a highly mathematical and logical subject. It explores lots of different aspects of physics, all the way from the smallest constituent particles through to the mechanics of the planetary systems. So it's very, very varied. Equally, the potential careers are varied as well. More traditional sort of careers one tends to think of associated with physics would be engineering, for example, but also many physicists go into other aspects of physics, such as medical physics, but also a lot of the numerate careers, such as becoming an economist or a software engineer or even a statistician, quite often come through the route of physics. Many physics applicants, or should I say graduates, enter into the finance sector, for example. Quite a significant proportion of them do. So it is quite a varied route into lots of different things. And again, it's down to the general skills that you learn in physics, or problem solving, together with the numeracy skills that actually lead on to this range of different careers. Okay, are there any questions for those two particularly before we just move on to that?
Just one thing, Deb. You've mentioned the maths a few times. Somebody just asked, is core maths at A level?
It's actually it's a level 3 qualification. You only do it for 1 year. I'm sure James will be able to explain this better than me. I believe it's not quite the same UCAS points as an AS level, but it's close to it. Yeah. So you do get UCAS points from it, and it is a level 3 qualification, but it's certainly it's smaller than doing an A level. You'd only do it in your first year of study at the college. Okay.
Deb, hi, it's Phil here. We haven't got any other questions. We'd really encourage any questions on physics and chemistry, but just to ask a quick question. I wonder if you've got any comments about the the colleagues who teach physics and chemistry, Leo and Liam, and how they go about doing that, and what experience the students get.
Sorry, doing what exactly? Just how physics and chemistry is taught, really, I suppose. Right.
And I'm thinking about the energy that those two staff members and all your department bring to what they do.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're extremely enthusiastic, both of them, and they're quite well renowned for it. I know that both of them are extremely energetic. They have quite a passion for their subject, and they also do deliver those science very effectively through practical work as well as through theory. Yeah,
I think it's important to highlight. I think we've got some really across all our subjects who will engage with students, and I think as you'll have noticed from the names of colleagues who are sort of presenting the Zoom chat, the thing about college is it's not like school. There is no sir or miss. We don't have that kind of hierarchy. You develop a professional relationship with your tutors, and they'll call you by your first name, and you call them by their first name, and it's a very different experience at school. It's a very positive one, I think, in terms of preparing people for university and just feeling, I don't know, it's just a little bit more sort of just on the same level, really, I think, rather than the hierarchy of school. So I thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
That's great. Anyway, have we got any more questions, Susie?
Just the last slide, I think, now, is there? Or is there another question?
No, none at the moment. I can ask them at the end, that's fine.
Okay, so the last slide here is it's just really a mention of the vocational route options in science. We do have two different ones, the applied science, which is a balance really between the three different science disciplines, and then also the biomedical science as well. I will talk a lot about these tomorrow evening, but I just thought I would mention them because particularly if some of you are concerned about the entry requirements, or you are concerned about sitting a lot of terminal exams, then this is something that would be certainly worth considering. Okay. So if there's any more questions, I'll answer those and then.
Thanks, Deb. We actually had one sent in before the event. Attendees could ask a question on registration and say thank you to everybody who's done that. And the one that we got for science is, what study books are best?
For any of the sciences?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah. Well, for the chemistry and the biology, we do the AQA specification, and we do recommend a textbook for them. Okay, and they are the AQA endorsed ones, that are the Nelson Thorns books. And physics, I might have to check with the physics actually about that, because that's OCR. But again, it will be the one that's recommended. They will be told when they start the course which textbooks that they can purchase. In addition to that, it's probably worth them noting that we also subscribe to Caboodle, which covers both AQA and OCR specifications, and there is an electronic copy of the textbooks on there, which they don't actually have to purchase a textbook. So they can actually access the online version of the textbook free of charge, because we give them a login and a subscription for, we pay the subscription essentially for Caboodle. In addition to the textbook, they will also get lots of interactive activities. I set homework questions through Caboodle and so on. And there's all sorts of learning resources on there, which actually have been proven to be particularly useful during lockdown, as you can imagine. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So Katie's asked, it's more of a question about going on to study medicine. Would universities look for A-level maths? Which again, I know James will go into more, but if you've got anything on that.
It is very often a requirement for A-level for studying medicine. Yes, it is. It used to be that chemistry and chemistry and maths were the key subjects to study medicine. Biology in recent years has, been recognised as being central to that as well. So if you don't study A-level biology, you would actually be limiting your options quite a lot in terms of which courses you could apply for. So really the classic combination for medicine is biology, chemistry and maths. Okay.
Right, thanks Deb. And then finally Lucy asks, how are the courses split and what's the percentage difference between examination and coursework?
For the A-level, it's entirely assessed by examination. We do have something called the practical endorsement, where you also learn practical skills in the classroom, and you are assessed on that in the classroom, but it doesn't actually contribute towards your grade as such. It's just an additional mention on the certificate that you get for your A-level. But it is important to do the practical endorsement, not just because it develops those all-important scientific skills that I've mentioned as I've been going through the PowerPoint, but also because the questions on the exam papers are often based on the practicals that you've done in class as well. Okay, but there isn't actually a percentage contribution from any coursework at all in A-level sciences.
Okay, great, that's all the questions. Oh, sorry, we've just had one question come in from Julia. Does taking core maths instead of A-level maths put you at a disadvantage when wanting to do medicine in heritage?
It would depend very much on the course, because some courses don't actually insist on core maths, on A-level maths, should I say, in which case doing core maths would actually give you an advantage over many students that, if you're applying to one of those universities, it would give you an advantage over those students who haven't studied any maths at all. So it depends on where you're applying, really. But A-level maths is more rigorous, because it takes you through to, you're studying it for 2 years, and it takes you through to a full A-level, so there's more of it. But as I say, I think James might be able to answer that question better than me.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Good evening, everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Deb. It's really great summary. And obviously, if people have got further inquiries, it is worth getting in touch via the website or put in an application and we will get back to you. And one of the members of the science team will get back to you individually if you've got particular questions. But an interview is a really good way to actually ask a lot of the questions. And we are doing interviews at the moment, most of them online, but we will get in touch with you and see whether science at the college is right for you. Okay, so Deb, thank you very much for your time there, much appreciated.